Hello, thank you for joining me today. Today I am going to share a little basic concept about Unity. So let's jump in. Okay, so first, if you download Unity, please create a project and set to 3D and then save somewhere in your computer, right? And then when you open it, it's supposed to be like this. Yeah, okay, so it will has a simple scene, main camera, and directional light. Okay, so those two will be the basic component when you open Unity. Okay, so let's start with the overall interface introduction. Okay, so this is hand tool, so you can move around, when you click this hand button, you can start, panning around the entire scene. So scene is the one that you are working on it. It's your working file. Game, it means that if you are in a game mode, you probably need to click this play button and everything will start play according to the eye of the main camera. Okay, asset store, it means that if you want to, download some pre-made assets, you can search online and pretty much you can download it or purchase it, download it, and you can open your package manager and then start, import into your assets, which will be here. And then you can drag and drop to your hierarchy and then it will show on the scene screen. Okay, so today we are not going to cover the asset store part, but we are going to show you how this interface looks like and how well it work together. Okay, so the hand part is panning, right? If you want to, kind of like panning around the entire scene, you can definitely do it. Or you can also click option, right? So if you are in the hand tool, you click option or alt in PC, and you can start, panning, but in a rotational way, right? So you can also do this. Remember to use this hand tool plus option, and you can, look around. Okay, so this is called move tool. So it's the translate, like the position of the object. So I right click and go to 3 object. You can create anything you want, right? So the first one, I create a cube. So the cube, you can see that the position is 10. One unity means 1 meter, right? 1 meter. So if you press 1, it means 1 meter, right? So the position we want to, if you go here, you can reset the entire thing. So it will be 0, 0, 0. The reason why we want to make everything 0 out is because in the future, if you want to code, it's very easy for people to, for you to manipulate or change using code to change the position. So if you 0 out, you don't have to add or subtract the position. So 0, 0, 0 is the easiest way to do the math. So we usually 0 it out. Okay, so if you see here, right? If you are not familiar with 3D, so just let you know that this one is moving tool. So this is Z space. Yeah, if you see this, right? The blue, right? And then green will be Y, red will be X. So you can also see this, right? This is kind of like the rotation, kind of making you think that this is kind of like the representation, like what of kind of like what angle do you have, right? So if you do this, right, usually it's something like this, y, x, z. So yeah, but you can kind of change, right? So you see x, right? X is red, z is blue, y is usually y is directing up, x, right, and z. Okay, so we can see that the cube is here, right? And when we create a cube, you can see, you can click this check. So this is kind of disable and enable, right? But it's still there. It's not being destroyed. It's just not showing on the scene, but it's there, right? So you can click this check and you will hide it or, show it. Okay, tag means that later on in the code, if you want to, change the name of it, and then later on you use code to find the tag and then do something about this. So tag is important later on if you want to code. Layer, it means that you can label different things in different layers. For example, if something you want to interact, something you don't want to interact, you can separate them into different layers. Also, transform. Transform means that it's the position, rotation, scales of this cube. So for example, you can kind of like go here, right? And you drag, right? You can drag, or you can type a certain number. Yeah, so it will move. Or Y, you can type 1, 2, 3, right? So this is kind of another way to find your position, right? And then rotation means that, for example, I want to rotate. So rotate, it means that according to x exit, if you want to, kind of like, yeah, it's rotate according to x exit, right? And you can use this one, rotate, the second one, rotate tool. You can start, you see, this is x, right? So x is red. So you can kind of like click and drag. So this is x, right? If you want to drag y, you can do this, right? And if you want to drag z, you can do this, right? The blue one, right? So this is kind of like how you can change the rotation. And scale means that, you can kind of grow according to the x exit or y exit or z exit, right? So by playing around all those parameters, you can change the position or rotation or scale of a cube. Okay, so if you have a cube, then let's take a look of the scale tool. Yeah, scale tool, just like what we just said, you can drag the middle, right? The middle will be proportionally scaled. But if you only drag this blue, it will scale only the z exit. If you want to scale the red one, it will scale only on the x exit or y. So you can play around it, but you can also press the 3 dot to reset. Okay, so mesh means that, there are a lot of different kind of like the positions of the data to kind of define this entire mesh, right? So for example, if I take it out, then the data was gone. So yeah, and materials means that later on we will talk about materials. Materials define how the mesh looks, and the model, the mesh plus materials will become a model, right? So we can kind of later on, we can take a look. And collider means that, for example, in real world, we couldn't walk through a table because it blocks our way. So same as collider. If you put a collider, then two of them, for example, like later on, if we put, for example, rigid body, right? Rigid body will let people, let the object apply physics. So if you have collider, it means that it has its, its space, right? And you couldn't really walk through once you apply rigid body to it. So yeah, or you can make it trigger, means that it's just a space. It's not a blocked place, but it's a defined place. If you walk inside the place, it won't block you. It's just a defined place. And when you walk in, and something will be triggered. Okay, so this is kind of like a basic, right? So you have main camera, and every time when you click main camera, you can have a small, window view right here, which is the game view. Whatever you view here is not the game view. Why? Because game view will be according to the camera, right? And you can have, field of view, right? Yeah. And then you see like this one will be totally aligned with game. Okay, so Command save, and let's take a look. Okay, so you see this will totally align with camera, right? So sometimes you will say, oh, I want to see this way. I don't want to see this way, right? This way looks not interesting. Okay, all you need to do is to click main camera. Right? Click this one and go to game object and go to align with view. Click this, right? Very interesting that you will make the camera follow your view and capture this view. So later on, if you go to game, right, and you press play, yeah, you will see the this according to your view. So yeah, maybe we can do this one. Okay, so you can, create more 3D object. You can create sphere. You can also hit W. Oh, again, sphere. Okay, if you hit W, you can move, right? You drag and move. And you can click capsule, right? And you can hit W and you can move around, or option, right? If you hit option, then there will be an eye icon for you, right? So you can see how many you can create cylinder, right? And then you can also create plane, which is considered to be floor. And you might wonder why everything is buried. It's because this center, right, is the, okay, it's 0, 0. It's supposed to be 0, but I drag it. So it's kind of not 0. So which means that in the Y position, right? Y position, it's 0. It means that this center, the center of the object is 0. So it's here. It's center of the object. So it's here.
So what we can do is maybe add 0.5, right? But sometimes you need to test it out. So yeah, because 0 is pretty much in the center of this gizmo. Okay, so this one, you can try maybe make it 1. Yeah, so you might need to move around things so you can see it, right? Usually we use 0.5. So just make sure it's on the floor, right? And you can create a bunch of it, right? Okay, so go here, right click, 3D object, quad. The difference between quad and floor is that quad is only 1 unit. Yeah. So for example, if you want something a little smaller, you can use quad. Yeah, but if you want something a little bigger, you can use plane. Okay, so quad is usually something more like this. Yeah, you can create quad, right? And what else? 3D object. Yeah, you can put all those, but we will have some other episodes or other tutorials about all those. So right now we are creating some simple 3D object in Unity. Yeah, congratulations, you made this far. You have something on the Unity scene. So that's play. Hit the play button. Yeah, so you can see a lot of stuff here, right? And if you move around the camera, right? For example, I like this scene, right? I probably can, you can move around, right? Maybe here, right? Okay. Save it, hit play. Yeah, so you see the entire thing, right? So in this episode, you already learned how to create a basic prime shape in Unity. Okay, so what's next? Next is that let's take a look of the assets, right? First one is scene. Scene, the default scene is always called sample scene. So, or you can change the name. For example, like first Unity or shapes, models. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, so it will reload, but it's all good. So you can rename the name, right? And then assets. Usually we create different folders. You do right click, create folders, right? What we are going to create is to change the color of the models because white looks a little boring. So let's create a folder called materials. Okay, let's open the materials folder and right click, go material, click. You will create a new material. Okay, so material, maybe we start with red. Okay, we click this. Yeah, this is a material. Later on, we are going to apply materials onto the shape we just create. So red, we create, and then our beetle, right? You can attach any pictures, but now we are going to do red, right? Okay, so first cube, we apply red, right? Okay, so here you can also change the metallic. It means that it will look more like a metal, right? Okay, smooth this. It means that it will look more, sharp or less sharp, right? Okay, normal map is usually to do a lot of details and using normal map. High map, yeah, and all those later on we will introduce, but now you can play around with this. This one, this is the local color, but if you want to do some fancy stuff, you can, download some images, right? And then you drag to your assets. And then, right, you can pretty much put this on top of or mix with the red, right? This will look very cool. Okay, so let's go to another one. So let's create another material and change to yellow. Let's go here and make it yellow. Okay, so our yellow is here, right? And we can change to, maybe transparent. We can try a different way of doing things. Okay, cool. And then we can, doing some interesting parameter practice, right? Yeah. You can pretty much do different stuff if you kind of like interested in different possibilities. Okay, cool. So we can also apply rock, or I just drag. It's a normal PNG file. You can just drag normal PNG texture and go to here, click this, right? Those are all components, and components can be manipulated. So you go here and go to material. On the albedo, this part, you can drag the rock, right? And you will have the rock feeling. Or if you want to drag the wall, right? And you will, if you click F, keyboard F, and you will focus to the selected object. So you can see there are a little bit of, textures here. Here, you can change different materials. Right click, go to create material, green. Let's make a green one, right? Okay, you can drag to capsule, or you can drag, click and drag to here, right? And then albedo, right? You can go here, you can drag the rock, right? And you will apply not only, green, and it also will apply the rock texture. Okay, this one, blue, click, right click, create, go to material, blue, right? And we go to albedo, change to blue. We can drag, click this one, drag, and then we go to assets. We apply the rock one. So yeah. And we go back to materials. We create materials, purple. Go here and click purple. And then we apply it. If you feel it's a little too dark, we can make it a little lighter, or maybe I would say be more like this, or more like, yeah, okay, cool. So this is today's tutorial. Hope you like it, and then you can make your own prime shape and start creating materials, and then apply all the materials to your project. If you want to create some different textures, you can always Google or download from Shutterstock, type texture, and you can download a bunch of images, drag those images inside Unity. And usually what I will do is to create a folder named texture. And then I will drag all those into my textures. Okay, cool. And if you click play, it will start showing you the entire scene. Okay, thank you for watching. And then now please start working on the scene. And once you finish it, feel free to share with everyone. Okay, so thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to put on the chat or feel free to share your thoughts. Okay, thank you so much.